The crowd fell silent the moment she stepped onto the stage. A thin girl, barefoot, clutching the microphone like it was the last thing she owned. Her clothes were simple, her hair pulled back into a messy ponytail, and her eyes held a mix of fear and fierce determination. No one knew her name yet, but something about her presence made the room still. When she said, "My name is Lily," her voice trembled, but when she added, "I'm singing Don't Stop Believin'," it carried the kind of quiet confidence that only comes from surviving too much too soon. Lily had been living on the streets since she was 11. Her mother had passed away, and her father, once a good man, had fallen into addiction and disappeared. For years, she sang on corners, in subway tunnels, anywhere people might drop a few coins. Her voice became her only way of surviving, a way to eat, a way to stay warm, and sometimes, a way to feel seen. Every night she sang herself to sleep with the same song her mother used to hum, "Don't Stop Believin'." When a street musician noticed her voice one afternoon and filmed her singing, neither of them imagined what would happen next. The video went viral within days. Millions of views. Comments flooded in, people asking who she was, offering to help, begging someone to give her a chance. And that's how she found herself standing on the biggest stage of her life, staring into bright lights and faces she had only ever seen on television. As the music began, Lily froze for a split second. All the faces blurred. All the noise disappeared. For a moment, she wasn't in front of cameras or judges, she was back on the sidewalk, singing under a flickering streetlight, her mother's voice echoing in her mind, "Keep believing, baby. No matter how dark it gets." She took a deep breath and started to sing. Her voice was raw and pure, filled with every ounce of pain, hope, and love she had ever felt. The first verse came soft and uncertain, but when the chorus hit, "Don't Stop Believin'," her voice rose like a storm. People in the audience began to cry. Even the judges leaned forward, caught in something bigger than a performance. She wasn't just singing, she was surviving in front of them. By the final note, the entire room was on its feet. The applause roared, echoing through the stage. Lily's eyes filled with tears, her small hands shaking as she lowered the microphone. One of the judges, unable to hold back emotion, slammed the golden buzzer. Golden confetti rained down as Lily dropped to her knees, covering her face in disbelief. The host ran to her, wrapping her in a hug. The audience chanted her name, over and over, "Lily. Lily." She cried not because she had won, but because for the first time in her life, she felt like she mattered. After the show, Lily was offered a place to stay, vocal training, and an opportunity to record her first single. She couldn't believe that everything she had ever dreamed of was beginning to come true. But success didn't come easy. She struggled with trust, with opening up, with the fear that she might lose it all again. Fame brought attention, some kind, some cruel. There were nights she wanted to run back to the quiet of the streets, where no one expected anything from her. Yet every time she felt like giving up, she remembered her mother's voice and that night on stage when the world finally saw her. She started using her platform to raise awareness for homeless youth, performing in shelters and donating part of her earnings to programs that helped kids like her find their way. Months later, she returned to the same talent show, not as a contestant, but as a guest performer. The lights dimmed, the audience fell silent again, and Lily walked out, this time dressed in gold, her head held high. She sang "Don't Stop Believin" once more, but now it was a celebration, not a cry for help. When she hit the final note, she smiled through her tears, knowing her mother would have been proud. Lily's story spread across the world, inspiring millions to hold on to hope no matter where they came from or what they faced. She had gone from the cold streets to the brightest stage, proving that dreams are not just for the lucky, they're for the ones who refuse to stop believing. When the lights faded that night, she whispered the same words she had lived by her whole life, "No matter how hard it gets, don't stop believing." And somewhere, someone watching at home, maybe another kid lost and alone, felt a spark inside them come alive again. Because sometimes, all it takes to change a life is one song, one voice, and the courage to keep believing.